Yes, yes, yo, you don't stop, Big John. Come rocking the short shot. Welcome back to the MLB Pick'em Show, presented by Underdog right here on the Mayo Media Network. Make sure you sign up to Underdog. Love that app. Been getting paid in the shade. Laid like an egg this year. Figure that one out. First $100 is free on that first deposit. If it's free, it's for me. Use the code MMN. Let them know Big Johnny sent you. Feeling a little bit under the weather. That don't stop me none. Death, taxes, sun rising in the east, setting in the west. Bears making dookie in the woods. Me up before the crack of dawn. Getting ready to bring you this bad boy. Let's do it to it. Me and you, the Mayo Media crew. Remember, everybody rate, review, and subscribe. That stuff matters more than it should. Stick your cartoon finger right up inside me. There's plenty of room. Let's get it, yo. If we're going to go down, let's go down swinging. Right? If you're going to go down, if you're going to go out, you might as well get canceled on the way out the door. Come on, let's do it. Let's show them what we're all about. 115 off the crack of the bat, as always. All right. It's very important that we preach responsibility, which we've done, and to have like a professional acumen, which I think I've done. Holy... I was so tilted. Very difficult to get me tilted. You know, high level better, betting MLB every single day. You really shouldn't get too high or too low. All kidding aside, if you find yourself like sweating and hemming and hawing and pacing and worrying and stuff, you probably have too much money on the line. It's a good tip that I learned as a trader back in the day. But anyway, we had Chris Paddock under 15.5 outs. I thought we did a very good job laying out why we thought, even in a best case scenario, right, he'd probably get the hook after 5. He gave up 8 runs. 8 earned runs. 8 earned runs. They sent him back out for 6th. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Puts a guy on, then gets the out. I was like pulling my hair out. Absolutely pulling my hair out. Doesn't happen that often to get the big guy tilted. Oh my God, I was tilted my tits off, man. All right, I got 2 picks for you. We're going to pick a pack of player props. David Pickett up in the joint. What's going on, my man DP? Appreciate you so much. Grab the sword. Grab your shield. You're part of the Phalanx here. Baseball's version of 300. Give the book nothing. Take from them freaking everything. Space Ricky with the UFOs. Yo, man, I'm weird as can be. Let's go. Want to see helicopters, Henry? Want to see helicopters? All right, come on. Let's do it. There's, I think, one game about to kick off, so we're not going to bother with that. We are going to focus on the 2 late games. I've got 1 pick for each. Do a little bang, bang, little Mick Foley. Go get him. All right, who's first? We got Angels, and we got Rays. Coming up tonight, Reed Detmers on the bump for the Halos, going up against Zach Littell and the Flatfish of Florida. Reed Detmers, a lot of up and down so far in the career, as it happens with youngsters. But there really is a lot to like here. I really like when, given the chance, we see the work being done to make improvements, right? We've seen it happen with Detmers now twice. So he came up initially, he kind of got rocked. Beep, 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 breaking news. Like, hey, MLB is hard. Yeah, we understand. Stop discarding youngsters, right off the bat. He gets sent down. They work on some stuff. They work on the slider, fastball. He comes back. He's pretty good. Last year was rough. Offseason really wanted to see what we would get. And there's really a lot to like. Detmers has been just outstanding so far this year through 17 1/3. He has a 1.04 ERA with a .81 whip, 410 OPS. Yeah, that'll do it. That'll do it. All the indicators are 2.5 or below also, right? XFIP, my own, Sierra, and expected ERA, all at 2.5 or below. It's a 41% strikeout rate. Remember that number. 31.5 KBB, 18 swinging strike, 34.5 CSW, 37 whiff. Above average chase. He's winning in the zone. Just unbelievable stuff going on for Reed Detmers this year. Just everything that you want to see. No home runs allowed yet. 219 expected WOBA, but 293 isolated to contact. Just this is like freakish, like outlandish and freakish stuff. Lefty's batting 200, righty's batting 108. He's been just unbelievable so far this year. Unhittable at home. Just kind of anywhere. So, I'm here to do the work that you don't want to. Or the hard work so you don't have to, let's say. Popping the hood on Reed Detmers is really a lot to like. So let's focus on the fastball first thing. There are a few ways to improve your fastball. It's not always velocity. We've seen what added velo can do with the strain as far as injuries. So what some pitchers and orgs will focus on is instead working on grip and delivery to try and change the shape. And now that's what we've got. Let's do a really quick lesson. Right, if we're going to streamline a couple picks, I actually get the chance to be a bit more granular. Forget who am I? I'm the host, Joe. Who am I? The goddamn sugar. Follow me on Twitter at John Legeza. Flow sharper than a razor. Freaking maniac, yo. The one-man band coming at you. Jesus. Help us. I'm telling you, man, no one does it quite like me. Follow me up on X, Twitter, whatever the hell it is. Pin tweet will take you all the other stuff. Again, if you want like the spaghetti at the wall, the picks and the player props, all that, all the craziness, that's going on off to the side. I got some good advice to keep this show focused as I can. You know me, I'm hard to corral, right? The Tasmanian devil, blah, blah. All right, let's try and get back on track. So Detmers has been awesome. And again, the lesson being fastball shape, right? Let's just do it really quick. I think I've gotten good at explaining this quickly, just so people understand. Because if you grew up around baseball, you always heard, it's like, is fastball straight as an arrow? And like, that was supposed to be a bad thing. Now it's funny as we get older, like, of course, like everything the boomers were wrong. You know, it being straight as an arrow would actually be amazing, right? Because that would mean that you wouldn't be falling prey to gravity. So we actually use the term rising fastball. That's a misnomer, right? No fastballs actually rise against gravity. That would be impossible. What they might do, though, is sink less than the field. You know, a lifetime of understanding how a four-seamer moves, and then you see disparate or different ones, right, that are flatter, right? We're actually looking for flatter, right? Because the idea is if it's steeper, you can then meet that with an upward angle. That's when you hear, attack angle, approach angle to get it out. When you throw a fastball that's flatter and combine it by throwing it higher in the zone, right, not only does it look different, act different than a hitter is used to, but you're also actually creating more physical space between the handle and the ball. It says, incoming, feather in the cap, nuance and context when you roll with us. So Detmer shaving a couple inches off the fastball, which not really easy to do, and it's come to great effect. So once he shaved the 2 inches of vertical movement and started throwing it up, the whip rate on the four-seamer jumped from 21, which is already good, over to 39, which is like freakish. And then again, he started throwing his changeup to righties only. One more lesson coming at you. It's very important when we're looking at pitching arsenals to dissect lefty and righty, right? That matters. The reason being, because some people will see, he throws a changeup, it's only 12% or 13%. But if it's exclusively thrown to righties, when you split it to righties, you'll see it's actually like 26% of the attack plan. So just a little perspective, how the same pitch, just looking at the number a little bit differently, may do a better job of describing how often it's used. So that changeup is new, and it's just freaking devastating, man. It's just been, great for him. 25% used to righties, a 259 expected slug, a 42% whiff rate. I mean, crazy stuff. Now that puts the four-seamer slaughter and change all above 37% whiff. And I explained to you what he was already doing this year. It's just been really crazy stuff from Detmers. He's been phenomenal. Pop over to the Rays offense. They're not that good in general. Again, I also like to use split data because, again, right, we're doing player props, isolating players. Rays versus lefties is this year really not very good. I mean, the 240 average is probably around average, but a 315 OBP is very low for that average, getting to where I'm going with it. The K rated 24, slightly below average, but, right, the big kind of shaking butt in the room. You really got to pop the hood on baseball stats, and I like to think that's part of why sharper people will kind of gravitate towards my stuff, right? I'm doing the work, and then I kind of show it to you. K rate is not enough. You can't say K rate is the best descriptor of the strikeout ability. It's just not what it is. Right, so what do I mean? Pop the hood on the Rays. The 24% K is really kind of masking 14.5 swing to strike, 29.5% chase, 76 zone contact. Those are all bottom 5. Then they're bottom 3 in pull, bottom 8 hard hit, bottom 5 barrel. So they're really not doing anything. But we want to focus on that. Those underpinning stats, 14.5 swing and strike, sub 30, 30 chase. Again, sometimes my numbers sound low compared to the consensus is like Fangraphs probably. I have to scrape them out of my own. whatever. There's this proprietary has foul tips. The difference is fouls. We probably should be using mine and not that one, but that's another story for another day. The fact of the matter is, when you use my stuff, you ever check it out on Substack or whatever, it is for free on Twitter sometimes also. It's all about formatting, right? You want to see where it lands. So again, it's a bottom 3, maybe bottom 5 offense. So without any further ado, first pick up on the board. Well, they're both up on the board. Just cover the bottom, right? We don't want you leaving before all the laughs are in yet. So Reed Detmers, 4.5 strikeouts higher. Excuse me, I actually played it safe on that one. You could go to the 5.5. And frankly, I don't want to sound like I should have. I'm like a conservative kind of better. So the 5.5 line at plus money, I would generally play on its own. You can't do that. So in the vein of trying to be successful, I think it makes more sense to lower the dial when you have to pair. So I think we're going to get everything. I mean, the Rays are just swinging, missing, chasing everywhere, losing in the zone, not getting on, just doing absolutely everything wrong that you could do, while Detmers is just mowing them down. I mean, it is really sick stuff. He's also kind of pairing with decent control. He's another good example of where ball rate is probably more important than walk rate. So you see Reed Detmers' walk rate, you think, 9% walk rate. That's, probably slightly worse than average. The fact of the matter is the ball rate, right, the true input, is actually very good. That number 35 is very good. Usually players with a 35% ball rate, that's like your 8 or below to the walk side. So expect some walk regression, especially the way he's looking right now. So let's get some strikeouts from Reed Detmers. Before we get to the second play, please rate, review, and subscribe. Stuff matters more than it should. If you want this show on when the weather's still warm, do that. Stuff matters more than it should. And, the compliment, the toot to compliment, of course, is signing up to Underdog using the code MMN. Getting that $100 for free, letting them know Big Johnny sent you. Because in the algorithmic world we live in, that stuff matters more than it should. Also, remember, there are rules in this life, people. Rules and regulations, which I spent a good amount of time breaking. Trying to bend to the point that they'll break. Remember, you must be 18 to play, present in a legal state where they operate. Terms apply. And if you have any problems, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Visit ncpgambling.org. 1-800-NEXT-STEP in Arizona. Or you can holler at me because I actually care about you. And I've seen people kind of pick themselves up and get themselves right. And, that can be you. We never want to be hurt. It's all about helping and a kind of community thing. I think that stuff really matters. In fact, some of the more recent kind of steps I've taken in this business have actually come from the crowd. Right? If you're unfamiliar, I have the moving averages algorithm. And so every day I'm modeling every single game, F5, F9, SP ranks, custom implied team totals, and stats and split stats and bullpen stats, just everything, right? So it can become a lot. And somebody one day asked me, like, for all the betting and modeling that you do, why are you looking at these kind of half-game totals or these highest run, daily run leaders and stuff? And before you knew it, it kind of turned out I was doing work for games I wasn't playing, and kind of took off from there. So if you're into all that stuff, check us out. Let's do the second one. Segundo. Number 2Z, as the little ones would say, it's the Red Laundry from Boston. They're in Cleatown to face the Guards. This one's at 7:10 p.m., so we got about an hour for this one. What do we think? We got Ben Lively. He's back, people. I didn't even know he was with the Guardians. I thought I screwed something up. He was with the Reds, my Reds last year. He's on the bump against Tanner Houck. So we haven't seen Lively yet this year. 88 2/3 last year. It was a 5.4 ERA, 1.35 whip, OPS north of 800. Indicators 4.5 or worse. The fastball down at 91. 20.5 K to only 6 walk. You're kind of getting like just a guy vibes here. Right? Single digit swing and strike, 28 CSW, 21 whiff. Those are all well below average with a 24 chase, also well below average. You're going to get a lot of contact. Right? So Lively really pitching the contact. He's going to look to keep it down. Last year, that wasn't the case. Tons of line drives. But remember, those are not really sticky. It was lefties that really killed him. Let's keep that in mind. Lively, over those 88 and two-thirds, the lefties are batting 296, 918 OPS, 2.5 home runs per 9. Really rough go against Southpaws. They also had 13 home runs. Man, 13 home runs to lefties, 88 innings. You don't face that many. You're getting a lot of fastballs, which are not very good. 40% use on the four-seamer. That thing is coming in at 91 miles an hour. I mentioned Detmers shaving off the 2 inches, but not from where to where. He was at 15, which is, let's call, average. Right, we're looking to take away from the sink, make it flatter. Detmers moved to 13, got huge results. Just to give an idea of the numbers, where 13 now is well above average. One more step, you're in like the very best. Depending on, other stuff. It is extension of velo. These things matter. Horizontal movement pairing. But just from that, under that specific lens, sort of give you an idea of the flip side, right? Lively's down at 19, where his four-seamer is kind of bordering on sinker territory, which is going to get you in trouble, right? That's where those home runs come from, right? I mentioned the angles coming in, right? So that ball is sinking and coming down, and if you miss, it's going into the fifth row. So you got to like Boston lefties against Ben. Lively. He's also really struggled on the road for what that's worth. I don't generally overreact to that stuff, but I do have it. It's kind of yelling at me. Opponents hit 300 off him. On the road, 846 OPS. That's a 5.9 ERA, nearly 2 home runs per 9. Pretty much all the nastiness you could ask for. So give me probably Boston's best hitter right now. Sorry, Rafi Devers, but he's been banged up. I think he is going to DH, though. Give me Tristan Casas. I kept refreshing the lineup. It's not, they will not confirm this. They go, just happened. So he's batting third. Exactly what we want to see. We want to be in the top third. We want to try and ensure as many plate appearances as possible. Let's take a closer look at Casas before we get out of here and hopefully cash some tickets. We know the contact quality is excellent. We're at 43% hard hit, nearly 400 expected WOBA on contact. I know that stat is a mouthful, but it's the very best for describing contact, with hands down. People use xWOBA, but you can't just use xWOBA because that includes walks and disciplinary metrics. I know, like I said, some people say xWO bacon, some people just call it bacon. Bacon. But that is strictly isolated to batted ball events, and it is the best descriptor that we have. So Casas' contact quality through the roof. He also kind of he had a little bit of a slow start and then kind of got up off the mat. He took off. So last 32 plate appearances against righties, 321 batting average, 1121 OPS, and a 393 ISO. So that's nearly 40% extra base hit rate off righties. Past like got to be 2 weeks or so. 73% contact, plus 40 hard hit, over 9% barrel, 2 doubles and 3 Shanalama ding dongs. So let's toss Casas into the fire. 1.5 total bases higher to go with Reed Detmers, 4.5 strikeouts higher. Let's knock them both out of the park today, people. It's a plus 134. Keep it small, keep it smart. Hopefully we'll see you at the window. Really like Casas in this spot today. I generally like to jump on pitchers when they're first returning. Just haven't gotten their legs under them, quite literally. So let's knock around Lively. Let's get those whiffs and those strikeouts from Detmers. They're going to kick off in about 40 minutes or so. That'll give me a chance to get out there and put this thing out there. Maybe get a couple more listeners, maybe a subscriber or two, someone to sign up to Underdog and use the code MMN to get $100 for free first deposit match. Let them know I sent you to keep this show going because them flags fly forever, people. That will do it from us. I guess, I usually like to throw a little cherry on top. I don't have a ton here. Shoot over to the algo. I got F5 under 4.5 modeled up. I have LA winning this one. I have the Angels to the money line. Then on the other side, I can't go over the F5 because the line is at 5.5, so it's a bit too high. I have Boston F5. I have Boston full game, though closing towards the end because the Boston bullpen is just meh. The Cleveland bullpen is very, very good. So I would keep that stuff to the F5. Maybe you're pairing the LA with Boston F5s. Maybe you're going LA F5 under with the Boston F5. Little peri, quite contrary. All right, let's get out of here. That'll do it. Fastest show on MLB absolutely anywhere. Let's get one more flash of the 2-pack. Baby. Tristan Casas, 1.5 total bases higher. Reed Detmers, 4.5 strikeouts higher. There's only 2 games on the slate. I'll be watching them both pretty intently. And hopefully I don't wind up tilted out of my brains like I was last night. I just could not believe they sent him back out after giving up 8 runs. What a joke. Oh, my gosh. That team's a joke. All righty. This time we're out of here for real. I appreciate you all for jumping along. The feedback and interaction's been really, really positive. Hopefully the volume will be there to keep this bad boy going strong. So that will do it. Remember, last lesson, as always, when you work this hard, it feels a lot less like luck. Damn right, man. Check us tomorrow.